Alright, continue on to companies. Companies is just an array list of a whole bunch of company. Um, so this just array lists all the companies. Um, this first little method is a nice little method that allow you to go through and get a single company's information by inputting any information, not just the name, but you could input anything, and it'll go through and parse that information and determine if that information is part of a company and then return that company to you. I've already more or less explained what this is. This just creates the URL string. This opens the URL connection and then parses that information into the different companies. Over here we have a print create method. This actually isn't used by the user interface. This is left over from the console running aspect of this program. Same goes for this. And same goes for that. All this goes in the console running aspects. You can run this program as a console, though it's become old and no longer worthwhile with the user interface. Over here, though, we do have a new string that works with the user interface. This is the print all method. This goes through and will either print the general live or dividend information specified here. I had to use a string builder to use at the interface, a little bit different than anything we've ever done with the consoles down here, which was kind of cool. And then this method right here is for the search print. This will go through, acquire the information that you send. You'll send you a tag, and then you'll grab that name tag information or the tag value information that we saw in companies, or the company class. And then finally, I just wrote up a little introduction that's just always posting to the main screen. Next, we have panel run, and this is where things get a little nuts. This is where the main is, even though the main is only like 2 lines long, because everything's running inside of the user interface. So right off the bat, I called companies and something called connection. I'll just explain connection in literally 2 seconds. But my main basically just calls up the window and then sets the window to visible. So it's just user interface. Immediately we create a company book. We define that company book's name. We create that mass string I was talking about, and then the goes through and creates the different companies right here. Then right off the bat I use something weird which I haven't showed you yet, which is called connection. This opens up a new connection, and then I go to new connect timer 8000 connection. This means I'm having a new timer that has a delay of about 8,000 milliseconds, and that's just a very simple class that is a timer. But this timer will go through and continuously run every 8,000 seconds. The class called connect. And the connect is very similar to the URL creation I had in companies, but this time around it's consistently refreshing the information and replacing the information with the replace data tag that we had in company, or method that we had in company, and replacing the information so it's just updating consistently. So you always have the most live, up-to-date information. Going back to panel run. Just going to show you the layout a little bit. I did the whole thing with a border layout, which is like a north, a west, east, and a south, and then a center section. I didn't use the east side, but I did use the north, the west, the center, and the south. So north panel, it has all that search general information, the text field. The west side was a little bit more difficult because I had to create a box that was going horizontal, but then I had to create a whole bunch of other JPanels for each of the individual tags. Continuing down, I have the buttons and the J tags, and then over here I have the south side, which is where I just have laid out some spacers information.